Today's episode is brought to you by Galen Pierce Realtor, licensed in Maryland, Virginia, D.C., and Pennsylvania. Contact him at galenpierce.com. That it's GALENPIERCE.com for all of your real estate needs. Buying, selling, and investing with Galen Pierce, consider it done. Hello. We're back. It's like, okay.
Intro the podcast.
I'm getting ready to. Goodness. Welcome to another episode of the Safe Space Podcast, where we get comfortable having the uncomfortable conversations.
And talk a little mess. We're your host, CJ.
And I'm Manda.
How was your week, friend?
It was long.
Or how were your weeks?
I was about to say, we took a sabbatical. We were on lunch break. We was a little lunch break. We a little late clocking back in. Y'all know how we do.
Don't say we. I'm always on time.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead.
I got lost.
Sounds about right.
Just like the people in Mexico.
We didn't get there yet. We're not there yet. How was your week?
It was very long. But I think that's because I know I'm off on Monday, so it made this week even longer.
Why are you off on Monday?
Because I got a doctor's appointment or something.
Liar.
Actually, no, I really did have a doctor's appointment. I just happened to cancel it today. So I wasn't lying at the time.
Okay. Who over at, I will not say the name of your company, do I forward this to?
I got PTO and I can use it.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you very much.
I was off legally today.
Who told you you could be off?
My doctor's appointments. I had a doctor's appointment and so did Mason. So here we are.
See, it's okay for you to have a doctor's appointment, but I can't.
Yeah.
The double standard of it all.
Other than that, how was your week? Don't say long.
It was.
So I'm going to actually stop you for a second. So while we were off, we got feedback from people about the show and things that they liked, didn't like, so on and so forth.
Okay.
And one thing was that people wanted us to stop talking about Real Housewives of Potomac.
I want to stop talking about it. It is over, y'all.
It's fine. We don't have to talk about it. But people want to hear more about like us and like what we do and who we are as people. So you cannot say that your week was long. I need you to give some detail.
Child, I don't remember what I did earlier today, let alone earlier in the week. I'm trying to remember. Did we work on Monday? Did the kids have school Monday?
Yeah.
Kids were in school Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a whole lot of school, a whole lot of working a whole lot of extra hours and not necessarily getting paid for it.
That sounds like a you issue, ma'am.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm working on it. Y'all need to listen more, share us more so we can get some sponsors, so we can come up off of these 9 to 5s. You know, those type of things. How about you? What do you have going on?
My week was good. I worked, of course. Obviously, all the children had school except for Mason, obviously.
Hear you popping bottles.
I am prepping for Brian's birthday. She'll be 5 next Sunday. So she is having the kid who has never bowled a day in her life wanted to have a bowling party. So we're having a bowling party.
It's her world. We just live in it.
Next Saturday. So
I'm excited.
Prepping for that.
What does friend Ryan want for her birthday? In case y'all don't know, Ryan is like my little BFF. That's my homie. That's Miss Orion to you.
Bluey. Anything Bluey. I actually did not get a chance to order her cake today.
Oh, no.
Well, there was a bad accident on my way leaving Mason's appointment. So I was actually late picking up Ryan from school.
Oh, no.
And I was having an entire panic attack. You know, I don't do time. Like, time is a thing for me. So, yeah, I didn't get a chance to. So I'm going to go first thing tomorrow morning and order her cake.
Okay.
So
she didn't hit you, but did you forget about me? Or
no,
were
well,
you?
I messaged her teacher on like the little app thing to say that
Okay.
you know me. I messaged her
Yes.
teacher to say that we were going to be late because of an accident. I think she was actually a little excited that I was late because she got to go over into the other classroom with the aftercare kids. And obviously she doesn't ever get to do that. So, and she came out with like a bag of munchkins. I guess that was the kids' after school snack. So, yeah, just prepping for that.
Is she gonna tell you be late again next week?
We don't do late.
Well, she'll give you another time to come and pick her up.
We don't do late. So,
Goodness.
but all in all, it was good. What do you have planned for this weekend?
Nothing. Nada. Zilch.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to be nasty weather here tomorrow.
Right.
However, my sister and I are going out tomorrow. We're going to go to see Chico Bean at the Comedy Factory, and then we're going to go to dinner. And my Sunday will be like a lazy Sunday.
Sounds like a plan.
Since
Speaking of comedy, oh, maybe we need to talk about that one time. Did you guys catch the Chris Rock
I did
Netflix
not.
special?
I'm not a Chris Rock fan. I mean, I'll watch it so that we can talk about it, but I'm not.
Right. I mean, I'm not a huge Chris Rock fan either, but you know.
I mean, obviously, everyone has been talking about
right.
it, and it seems to be mixed reviews about how it was. I've never been outside of watching Everyone Hates Chris. I'm not a Chris Rock fan
Right.
at all. But I can watch it so that we can discuss it.
And I didn't realize that it was being taped live at the Hippodrome downtown the same night that we were down there.
I don't. If she listens, she'll be like, "Oh, that was me." One of my Facebook friends posted something like, "Chris Rock caused all this traffic downtown for this." So, like I said, I've been seeing mixed reviews about it. Again, not a fan. However,
yeah,
if you all want to talk about it,
I was gonna say, you know, it's buzzworthy, so
yes,
I watched it so that we could stay in the know. But like, am I a diehard Chris Rock fan? Not necessarily, but
so since we are talking about ourselves more and doing all of that, I want to give a PSA. I'm going to look into the camera. PSA. I want people to stop feeling like they have to talk to me when I'm out and about. It is okay for you to give me a head nod, a wave, say hi. Or give me the smiling eyes, as Tyra used to say. Tyra Banks, that is. Stop talking to me, asking me stupid questions.
oh, can we get some context?
I am strolling along with little Mason. Obviously, germs. He has his little cover down. Or if I'm holding him in the carrier, don't ask me if there's a baby in the carrier. Like, no, I'm carrying this around for practice. Like,
They might have thought that you was on your way to the movies. Did you see the lady on TikTok and she stuffed the whole baby thing? She made a whole snack baby and put the snack baby in the carrier. So they didn't have to.
I'm in common places like the market, the bakery, my kids' dance class. Don't ask me if it's a baby in the carrier.
Maybe they just
because
didn't
I'm just
have
gonna look at
anything.
you.
You just mean.
No, like if that's don't exchange with me in that way. I'm just gonna look at you.
You just mean. They wanted to see the little bambino.
Well, then ask if you can see him. Don't. Oh, is that a baby in there? All right, that's
mean. Okay. But that's a real question. Is do they like pat you down at the movies or something now? Because the lady was like,
I haven't been to the movies in. I think the last movie that I went to, I took Aubrey to the movies. It was just her and I. This is when Ryan was a baby, and we went to go see.
I was like, I didn't go to the movies regularly anyway, and I dang
Ugly
sure
Doll,
hasn't been.
I think is the name of it.
Oh, I remember that movie.
However long ago that
Good
was the
Lord.
last time that I went to the movie theater.
So y'all, hey, comment. Is that a real thing? Do they pat y'all down in the movie theater now, so that you be forced to buy the movie theater snacks, or do they like search your bag? They saying it's for weapons, but they really searching for the popcorn.
I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, I don't know. Well, the lady said in the TikTok that that's why she had to make the snack baby, because they be checking her purse.
Who's taking a baby to the movie theater? Like, who would believe that?
Actually, no. We years ago we went to the movies and it was a couple in there, and they really had like a brand new, like it was a brand new baby. Like the baby was really good. It stayed asleep the whole time until like the very end of the movie,
Yes,
and then
no.
it started like, and like it was a tiny baby, like the little tiny ones that don't even sound like a cry yet. And she had that carrier up on her lap in the middle of the movie, and I'm sitting there like this.
Why were you doing that?
Because the carrier was like here. So I'm watching a movie in the corner of a carrier. It was so uncomfortable.
I'm assuming the movie theater was full and you couldn't move to another space.
I don't even remember if it was that, but we got there early. We got the good seats all the way at the top. And then here she come with the baby carrier and sit it right. Just
Okay.
people. This is why I don't go to the movies. That's probably like one of the last times I ever went.
I don't like going to the movies just because it's cold and like the seats are uncomfortable. Like I can't stand being cold. And obviously I'm not going to bring a blanket to the movies. So
I mean, people do, but they usually be doing.
Oh my gosh. We're not going to do that.
Oh, we need to talk about that one time.
Talk about what?
The crazy stuff that people do, or the crazy stuff that.
Not that I do. I don't do anything crazy. Thanks. Next topic.
I mean, you married. It wouldn't be crazy because you're married.
Okay. Do you
Y'all
want me
comment.
you want me to
Y'all.
sit here in silence? That's what you want.
You have to give the listeners what they want. If people are demanding it, I mean,
No.
we're here to please the people.
Speaking of that, so my husband has two best friends, right? So one of them, if he's listening, he knows who he is. He came to the house and he's talking to us about the podcast. And he's saying that he was catching up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, what episode are you listening to? And then he says, he brought it to my attention, and I'm here to correct myself. He brought it to my attention that on episode maybe 2, 3, when we talked about cheating and spouses cheating, that I said that I would be okay with my husband cheating. That's not what I meant. I didn't say that.
Did you say that?
I think whatever way the question was phrased, I said the wrong answer to the question. And he said, oh, I mean, I could tell because I know you, like by your tone and all that that's not what you meant. And I said, you're right. That's not what I meant. So I'm here to correct myself. My husband is not allowed to cheat on me. I'm not okay with my husband cheating on me.
I need to go back and listen to that.
So now that we're here, and because you brought that up, I just wanted to clear myself. Just wanted to clear it up.
Okay. Husband,
right.
You're not allowed to cheat.
All right. So what we got for today?
I was going to take
Our
it a whole...
are like falling out right now. I just wanted to clear that up. Now that we're back, it's like fresh on the top of my mind. I needed to make sure that we're all clear.
You can't throw something like that at me and then try to put me back on the tracks, because I'm getting ready to scrap whatever we were supposed to talk about.
We have an outline that we need to stick to.
Because I was okay. What were we talking about? Going to Mexico and getting tummy tucks.
So,
or
that's not how you roll into a topic. That's not how you do it. So, she's been gone for 2 weeks and doesn't know how to.
Because
as you all know, what's her name? I don't know the lady's name.
It doesn't even matter because
it's all over the news. Everyone is talking about it. The 4 individuals who drove from wherever
South Carolina
to Mexico.
The 4, possibly 5, but the 5th one got left back.
Yes,
because she wanted to go take a shower and a nap.
Drove all the way to Mexico to allegedly get plastic surgery and ended up getting themselves into a whole situation. And I don't want to make too much light of it because 2 people did, or 1 person did. 2
did die. Yes.
So I don't want to make fun of the situation. However, I think you and I talked about it, obviously, to prep for the show.
Mm-hmm.
and then just listening to all of the that's all up and down my TikTok. That's all I'm seeing is
like I'm getting alerts as we speak, like alerts from like the local news about it.
Right.
Like it is just everything that is unfolding is just like even down to the way that I guess that it came out that they were captured or that they were rescued and that the two of them perished. Like the governor or whoever he was, the president, whatever he was like in the middle of a press conference and like his cell phone rings and he answers it on the press conference. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Answered it on during the press conference and like put it on speaker and put it up to the microphone. And that's how the news broke. Like everything about this is just shenanigans.
So I don't think that we can fully talk about it, and I guess maybe we'll have to come back and update and like once everything is kind of clear. But yes, it's a whole lot of shenanigans, a whole lot of lies. The truth lies somewhere in between. I don't know. I mean, I guess if she was truly going there for surgery, that sounds like a very odd grouping of support people. Like I just saying. I think one of the men that was there, like his wife didn't even know he was going to Mexico. The friend that got left at the hotel in Texas, she apparently didn't know they were going to Mexico. There's a whole lot of questions around what has taken place. So we'll use that to lead into just our conversation. I will just give another PSA. I want you all that are traveling. This particular part of Mexico that they travel to apparently is on like the travel advisory list of places that y'all shouldn't be going. I need you to take heed to that because you get yourselves in. Didn't we talk about this maybe an episode or two back? You get yourselves in situations by just doing things all willy-nilly. And I'll leave that there. What are your feelings on plastic surgery, that whole thing?
First of all, do what you want within reason. Do what makes you happy within reason. I am a bargain shopper. I love to shop. I'm a bargain shopper. One thing that I'm not going to bargain with, though, is plastic surgery or anything medically being done to my body. I'm not going to bargain shop for that. There's no rhyme or reason.
Speaking of bargain shopping, so again, this whole thing, everybody giving their I go to Mexico for this all up and down my timeline. I was very puzzled. This lady on my TikTok yesterday was talking about her going to Mexico to get braces. It's like, what is like? Why are we going to Mexico to get braces? Are the ones here not good
Mexico
enough?
And it's another one. Is it the DR? I think it's the DR. Like it is a whole thing that people are booking trips, booking airline tickets, all of that stuff, and going to this other countries to get braces, getting veneers, and then like turn around and coming right back.
Veneer thing, but I was not aware that people were actually traveling.
Yes, that is a thing.
I have not gotten to the stage in life where my children need braces. I've not gotten there. How much do you know how much braces cost?
I mean, it's a couple thousands of dollars, you know, from beginning to end. Again,
I'm just thinking in my head, and I could be completely off base, but like the travel that it takes for you to like go there, like back and forth, because like you don't just get braces on and like you just leave them. And
so
like
whatever it is though, whatever it is that they're doing though, it's, I don't know if it's kind of like an Invisalign type thing or whatever it is.
This lady had legit
just
wire
regular
braces.
I know it's supposed to be whatever they're supposed to do. It's supposed to be faster, cheaper, and then whatever discounts and things you get to fly there, whatever. All in all, it's supposed, because I want to say like in the U.S. I feel like total treatment, like from beginning to end, depending on how long you have your braces on and all that stuff. I want to say it's total ends up being around like $25,000, something like that, over a course of a couple years and all of that stuff.
Okay, well then scrap my thoughts then.
But no, because initially you're like, there's no way that it could be cheaper
Well, I was
booking
thinking like
plane tickets and
flights back and forth, and then like the actual treatment cost, finding a
right.
place to stay, all of that. I was thinking it would add up. But
And when I
obviously
say
it wouldn't be that much.
$25,000, you know, we both have medical billing background, that whole thing. You know how they have what the billed amount is and what the actual allowed amount is. Do people really pay out of pocket $25,000? I don't think so. But I don't know. I haven't had braces. My children haven't needed them as of yet. I hope by some miracle that they won't need them, but you know. Either way, like I was saying, I love a good bargain. But there are some things that I am not going to bargain with. I am not going to another country to get any type of medical anything. I was watching, I guess, one of my new favorite podcasts, or however you want to call it, with Fox Soul with Funky Dineva, Claudia Jordan, and Al Reynolds. And they were all talking about there is a place in Mexico, and Funky Dineva said that it's like similar to the Strip in Miami, and they have all of the pharmacies and stuff up and down the Strip, and you can get all types of medication and all of that stuff for like pennies on the dollar as to what you would pay here. And Claudia was talking about she had a friend that she went there to get something for like a UTI or something, and now she's paralyzed.
Wait, were they staying in Mexico already?
I don't know.
She,
I don't know if she was like already there, because you know, people that live in California, you know, they drive down to Mexico all the time. So I don't know if they was there like on a weekend trip or something like that. Because even Claudia was like, yeah, there are some. I used to get some of my favorite medications down there, because I don't know. I guess this is what people did. But she was like, yeah, no, I quickly stopped doing that after that happened to my girlfriend. But again,
so for me to answer the question, do what you want. I think that everyone as adults, you do what you want responsibly. And when I say responsibly, you do things that you can afford, and you do things that like make sense, and you're not being laid out on a table and having God knows what done to you. And now, that's not to say that taking off of going to like other countries, because there are plenty of people who have surgeries here who go to these little ASCs and little whatever they are, these pop-up shops, to have surgeries done and end up dying. Like it happens. I was just watching a story about something that happened to a lady here in the States not that long ago. Like she went to have, I think, a BBL and something else done, and she went to one of these little recovery houses or whatever they are. Things went bad, and she was just dropped off at the ER.
Wow.
And ended up dying. But do things responsibly, and a part of being responsible is doing things that you can afford.
Right.
And in affording it, that means doing it the right way. You get what you pay for. And all
Right.
why are we talking about that this week? You get what you pay for in all aspects of life.
Aspects.
I know for me, I know it's never say never, but plastic surgery for me would always be a no. Just because being put to sleep voluntarily does not sound like a good idea for me.
Right.
It doesn't sound like fun. But it would always be a no for me, regardless of how much it cost. But if I was going to do it, obviously, I'm going to vet my doctor. I'm going to go through my checklist to make sure that I'm safe at the end of the day and not getting something done because it's cheap. And
right.
The next thing I know, my leg is falling off.
And I think that, because I read somewhere that, is it Gen, what are we? We're millennials. Then there's what, Gen Zs, Gen X, Gen Zs, I think, are the highest rated generation that are getting plastic surgery. And like, it's so lackadaisical now. Like, people really still don't take in consideration, like, this is major surgery on your body.
I think, like, obviously BBLs are the hot thing. want to say like, and just looking it up, and you hear all the time, like that's the most risky surgery of
Mm-hmm.
like plastic surgery
Mm-hmm.
that you can have. Someone is blindly shoving fat into another part of your body,
Thought this was grateful.
and they're not able to see what, like they're blindly doing it.
Right.
It could,
So there was probably one point in my life that I was like, yeah, no, I would never do plastic surgery. But we're human. Our ideas of things change. Our bodies change. That whole thing. So like, I am seriously considering getting something done. Sorry, my producer man on the side. Anyway, I'm still very cautious about what I would have done, where I would have it done. I want to do all of my research. I want to see before and afters and statistics and all of that stuff. But everything is all TikTok and all of that now. Like you can sit there and watch on TikTok an entire surgery, and I think it just takes the severity out of what you're really doing to your body, and you're just thinking about, I just want to look like this TikTok model, and
well, I think for me, I've never had the desire to like change anything like on my body or anything like that. But like the risk associated with it, like you can die going into surgery for having like something done that you actually need done.
Right.
Like you can be going in for something that's supposed to be simple, and something goes left, and I don't want to see you out of here, but
well, yeah.
But I again could not see myself voluntarily picking out something to change about my body that I don't really need to do, and putting that risk on myself,
Right.
Especially for procedures that are so risky.
But I think there's something else more to that. Let's take a quick break though, and I think I have something when we come back.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, and we're back. Sorry. Anyway, let me get back to it. What did I want to say before the break? So you had said something about there was nothing that made you, because you wanted to look a certain way, or you didn't care about looking a certain way. Yes, plastic surgery can be about looking a certain way, but I also think that, especially now, it can have something to do with feeling a certain way, and not even like, sometimes you have to do it physically, like when women get breast reductions or implants, or because if you're lopsided or you got too much, so it's more to it for a good amount of people, not even just women. I think there is more to it than just the look of it.
I didn't say that.
No, you said it was
I said that there was nothing I wanted to change about my body. I didn't say anything about like looking a certain way.
It was something to that effect. But yes, I just wanted to put that out there, that sometimes it's not just about the look of it. It has, physically, even mentally, if you, like, speaking for myself, somebody that has gone through like a major weight loss transition, that whole thing, you do a whole lot of work to lose a lot of weight and all of that stuff. And then sometimes even with exercise and all of that stuff, like there are certain things that you would still have to surgically have taken care of, because no amount of exercise will fix that.
Right.
Now, with that being said though, and the even crazier part about it is, like, unfortunately, like, insurances and stuff don't always cover it. And yes, you have to be financially able to do so, or smart about it. I'm still not going to bargain shop. Like, I'm not.
Right.
Doc, can I get one boob done and the other one done for free? Or, you know what I mean?
Well, I
Like,
think my point of saying that, though, I think for me, it's more of like a fear thing, just in general.
well, yes.
So it's like, I wouldn't do it if I had the best doctor possible, like regardless of the price. I'm certainly not gonna do it flying to a place that I shouldn't be.
Right.
Based on the U.S. has got, like, I shouldn't be
flying
there.
or driving.
Or yes, I shouldn't be there. And then the language barrier.
Right.
There's so many other layers.
Just even the regulations or seeing if you're even suitable for surgery.
Right. The fact that I didn't hear the story, but like the fact that Claudia's friend took something that she thought was for a UTI and ended up paralyzed. Like, well, how does that happen?
Right.
Like, not saying that everything that takes place here, as far as like drugs and things like that you take, prescription drugs, we all hear it on the commercials. You're taking something for a headache, and you got 55 other things that may go wrong,
right,
including the fact that you may die. Like,
right.
So, not saying that just because you're going to another country, like that, automatically something bad is going to happen to you. But for me, the fear around surgery at all is like no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
So.
And that was going to be another thing. Like, I think because it's so glamorized and you can just watch the whole surgery on TikTok now or YouTube. Like, it's just so nonchalant that people don't have that reverence for what's actually happening. People don't have that respect to know that it's something that you should have that fear of. Like, you're not going to the grocery store to pick up some grapes. Right. Like, you are being put to sleep, hopefully, if you go to the right place and they do it right. Because you can have liposuction now without even being put to sleep.
Right.
There are things that they can do now while you still woke. So
kind of sticking, and I know I keep trying to take it off, but then I keep going back to it, like the whole like flying someplace else to have surgery done. Again, watching TikTok, because of course this has just opened up the can for everyone to tell their stories about surgeries and things like that. This lady that I was, again, just scrolling, she came up and she was saying kind of like her experience of going, I believe, to Mexico to have a surgery done. She was like, you don't even talk to a doctor before you get, like, it's all, you're doing it through a third party, again, because there is a language barrier. Like, if you don't speak Spanish, how are you like communicating?
That's
so it's
crazy.
Like, if you're not even physically talking to a doctor, you may not even see the doctor before you get there. You're not doing pre-ops, I'm gonna assume.
Right.
Like, what are you bringing them with you? Like,
right.
You're not doing any of those precautions. And again, obviously you're in a different country, as we talked about episodes before. Different laws, different rules, different regulations apply in different places. So I think, for example, again, just watching, like, I watched Botched and all of that stuff.
Yes.
So for a surgery here that you can only take out X amount of fat, you can go, I'm going to stop picking on Mexico. You can go someplace else and get twice as much done.
Right. Because I was going to say, in Asia, when you go to have plastic surgery in Asia, you just go in and like you pick what you want off of a menu. Like, you walking into McDonald's and they have the menu up on the thing. You just pick what you want and you get a waiting a number, like you're getting something from the deli, and you just wait in the waiting room until they call your number. So it's no pre-ops,
right.
See if you're suitable for this. Nothing. You just walk in, pick what you want, and wait for them to call you. And actually, I think that's kind of how at one time, a very famous plastic surgeon in Miami, because I don't know what kind of, if we can call names or whatever, but he's a very famous TikTok plastic surgeon in Miami.
Allegedly.
But even with that person's practice, it's like a lottery, and you wait till they call your number or whatever, and then if you get called, then you just go and have your procedure done. Like, it's not because he's so busy. Like, you would never be able to get an appointment with him or her.
And obviously, I don't want to shame anybody who is having surgery because, again, it's a whole lot of mental stuff that sometimes plays into people go and they have one little procedure, their nose got broke, they go get their nose fixed, and then all of a sudden they on botch because their face is all jacked up because they've had so many surgeries. So I don't want to downplay it because there is a whole lot that goes into it.
Or how many times have you seen on Batch, like the girl's like, oh yeah, I went to the dentist and he noticed that I snored, so he said that he could go ahead and do my nose job for me.
Right.
Why are you getting a nose job from a dentist? Like,
can we have a fact check? One of our Mr. Producer Man. I think that a lot of doctors, I don't think you have to be certified technically in like cosmetology. I think a lot of doctors can just do like it's a thing. Like you can just do it. Like you don't have to be.
You can. You shouldn't, but you can.
But I'm saying like you can go kind of you can go to the dentist and they can be like, oh, I know how to do boobs too, and they can give you a boob job, I believe.
Yeah, I think if you give them consent, they can tell you anything. And
yeah, so my point in saying that I didn't want to discredit anybody or take away from the way that anybody may feel, it's just again me saying that I, as a parent, you can't feel awful because you're deceased, but like if something happened to me because I decided to recklessly go get a surgery done that I didn't truly need to have, and I did it half behind because I can't curse. I did it halfway, and something happened to me, I would feel bad. Like you would feel awful about that. Like you made a bad decision or a bad choice, and now your children are affected, your family's affected. Yeah, I think there's a lot of horror stories just behind people making bad decisions in reference to their health and just not fully thinking it through.
So let's dive deeper and peel back the layers on this. What do you think would drive someone to make a decision like that? Like, is it societal pressure? Is it they just plain old don't know better? Like, what? And because I can't speak from a man's point of view because I'm not a man, but and since I guess statistically speaking a lot more women do it than men, or we assume that, what causes that I'm throwing all caution to the wind, I have to look this way, I have to feel this way, it doesn't matter to me, what could happen, I'm just going and I'm going to look like this when I'm finished?
I think it's like social media and like TV and all of that. I think I would say that would be like the start of it. If I'm on TikTok and I'm scrolling up, or if I'm on Instagram and every single woman that I see has these huge boobs and a really big butt, and that's all I'm seeing, I'm gonna want to look like that too, especially if I'm a young and impressionable kid. I'm just getting out of high school. Everyone's gonna want to look like that. We were just talking about filters a second ago. Like these filters are crazy.
Yeah.
So like if I can get someone, no matter who they are, to make me look like that or feel like I look like that, then why not? And if I don't have the money to do it, but Mr. Jones over there says that he's gonna do it for $400, and all I have to do is come to this hotel around the corner, and like, yeah, I think it's social media.
That's so fun. I don't know why this just popped in my head. I think it was several years ago. There was like a nail salon that they was doing butt injections in the back of the nail salon, and like people was like seriously lining up to get their butt done in the back of the nail salon. Like, what on earth Anyway, I don't know why that just popped in my head. But I did have another question on a
So
serious note.
I have a second part though to your question,
Mm-hmm.
your initial question. So I was watching Underworld, maybe one of those shows like that, and there was a group of transgender people, on the show, and they could not get whatever drugs that they needed here for their transition.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to go wherever else to get these drugs. And of course, again, you're going to other countries. The labels are all in different languages. You're doing all this. You're buying stuff over the internet. But in that case, it's their insurance wouldn't cover it. Like different, they couldn't afford the cost of those drugs. So again, in that aspect, there is a mental piece of it. Like you, I'm trying to like tread very lightly. You
Boy, it's so
are living
hard.
in the wrong body according to the way that you feel,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to do everything that you can, or your mental health depends on you transitioning. You're going to do what it needs. You're going to do whatever you need to do to get those medications and to feel whole or feel like you.
Mm-hmm.
So then you do result to buying things off the black market, maybe traveling to some place that you necessarily wouldn't to get the drugs that a country that you live in you can't afford, won't pay for, all of those things. And I am done stammering over my words.
So, and you make an excellent point, and I think that can also transition over into the whole plastic surgery thing. Like you feel like I cannot take these saggly arms not another day. They're impeding, and I'm saying saggly arms because but they're impeding on my quality of life. I can't wear certain tops. I can't play a certain sport because the extra is dragging me down. I've got to get this cut off of me. And they go and do crazy stuff. It was something else that I wanted to ask you though before I went down that road. So, kind of backing up a little bit, as a girl mom, because like I was saying before, I feel like statistically speaking that it's more women or young women that are running out and getting these crazy surgeries and stuff done. As a girl mom, what do you do, or is there anything you can do to instill in your girls, like, you're beautiful the way that you are, how you're created, if you want to do this, make sure you take the safe route, that whole thing. Like, do you instill that in your girls now, or?
I mean, I think it starts with having those conversations of just about body positivity, loving the way that you look regardless of what that is, whether it's your hair, your skin complexion, all of that stuff. So I think having those tough conversations starting at a young age to build up that confidence and to know, like, okay, I may have A cups, I don't know, but my kids obviously don't have phones, but like I'm scrolling on Instagram and I see all these other people that look a certain way. I'm okay with how it is that I look because I built that confidence up and not allowing the outside world to influence your, like, off topic just a little bit. As parents, we need to teach our kids and be mindful of what our kids are taking in, and not allowing our kids to watch whatever it is that they want to watch, listen to whatever they want to listen to, scroll on YouTube for hours watching random stuff that just pops up, because your child takes that all in. They're like little sponges. So if you're putting positivity into your child or children, they're going to grow up with it. They're already going to have it on them.
Mm-hmm.
So all the extras and the outside won't affect them or not as bad. So.
Right. So I'm so glad that you used the term body positivity, because I also wanted to have a conversation about, and I'm about to be like you. I'm trying to tread lightly. I don't want to offend. Um, uh, so a while back, I want to say,
if you're going where I think you're going, I have nothing for you. But go ahead. I'll let you ask your question.
what? So a while back, because I think, body positivity is a new buzz term.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know there is a musical star that
I have nothing for you.
This is a safe space.
I have nothing for you.
You're supposed to be comfortable having the uncomfortable conversation. I'm going to have the conversation by myself.
Listen.
Oh my gosh, y'all see this? So, it's great to instill confidence in someone, in your children, in yourself, and feel comfortable in your skin and all of that. But is there a line in the sand, one way or the other? Is it? I'm just saying, either way, is there a line in the sand, one way or the other?
I don't know.
I
don't know. I'm looking at you like I looked at the lady earlier who asked me if I had a baby in my car seat.
I'm just saying, on one end of the spectrum or the other end of the spectrum. Is there a line in the sand?
A line in the sand for what exactly?
If you look crazy, you look crazy.
Well, yes, obviously. Obviously, yes, there is regardless of your size, if you're doing something crazy, then yes.
And if said person looks crazy, do you, because either way, I think the person will look crazy. I don't think it's just because of their size. But you can't say that because if you do, it automatically is assumed that. And I feel like I can talk because
I will say
I'm part of the big girl club. So what?
That one outfit in particular that she wore to a game, where her entire butt was out. Regardless of what size you are, as an adult, as a woman, why are you going out in public like that? At a place where there could be children, there could be just other adults in general that don't want to see your butt.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of size, the outfit is an issue.
Right.
Now, whether or not other people are making it a big deal because of her size, probably. But to me, it has nothing to do with size. It's the outfit that's the issue. Because I know that if my child or children were at that game and we were sitting behind you and you stand up and all I see is your black butt and not calling her her butt, I would have I'm gonna have an issue with that,
right?
Regardless again of what size you are,
right?
It's just not appropriate,
right?
And that's all I have to say about that.
This is so funny. Boy, you do know that this is a safe space where you get comfortable having the uncomfortable conversation. I'm just saying, I thought I might reiterate that.
I wrote the tagline. I don't need you to tell me what it is.
So, back to the whole body positivity, that thing. And I guess your self image or your how you perceive yourself as opposed to how others perceive you, that whole thing. And I know we weren't going to talk about the housewives, but
here we are.
they danced around a very important topic, another buzzword. I think it can also fall into your self image and that whole thing, because there is a culture of people that are doing things to change the color of their skin. But let's talk about colorism and that whole thing.
By the way, y'all, that is tea. I just took a very big gulp of it. It is tea. Go ahead.
So I think that could kind of fall into this topic a little bit. Do we want to talk about that? Do we have a feeling on it one way or the other? Is it a thing? Have you ever experienced anything?
The only thing I will say about this topic, and you and I had a mini debate about it. I did not have an issue with it, but I find it interesting that who did you say you were listening to, and they were very upset just because Giselle did not have
Carlos King.
I will just say this.
And taking them out of it, like it doesn't have to be, because I know. Well, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna just say, I'm not looking at any of the housewives for anything, for my moral compass on anything. And if you are, you have an issue. Like, you need to like self-reflect, go look in a mirror, and like figure it out. Like, the housewives shouldn't be your moral compass for how you should feel and how you should treat people. So to have an issue with the fact that Giselle, who never has anything, I won't say doesn't have anything smart to say, but never has anything to say that doesn't involve mess, to be upset that she didn't have anything to say about the whole conversation, just kind of sat there. Shame on you. Not you, but whoever feels that way. Like, I wouldn't be looking for her to have anything of substance to say about a serious topic. I just wouldn't.
Right. So again, taking them out of it, not even their opinions doesn't matter here.
So I think we need to go on a really quick break, and then I'll answer your question as soon as we come back.
Okay, cool.
Welcome back.
And we're back.
So what was the question that you were asking me before break?
So colorism, is it a thing? Is it not? Do you think
it's a thing? It definitely is a thing. I can't say for myself that it has or has not happened to me. It hasn't been anything that has like been in my face.
Mm-hmm.
That I can like pinpoint, like, oh, that one time this happened to me. But it definitely is a thing. I think if anyone said that it was not, then they're lying to themselves. But I mean, it's obviously a thing.
Okay. I mean, I definitely think that it is a thing as well. I guess like you, I mean, I don't think that I've had anything like overtly done to me. But like, have I definitely had times where I felt like I wasn't as pretty because I wasn't light skinned, or I had light eyes, or I wasn't as valued because I didn't look like a Giselle or a Robin. Sure. But I mean, I definitely think that it is a thing within our own community that, you know, one will treat someone different, even in your own family dynamic.
Yeah.
Somebody can be treated differently because of their tone. So I think that is something, but that can be another whole episode for another time. But I do think that kind of wraps into the whole how we see ourselves and the things that we do to change our appearance. Because as you know, that it was a big news thing a couple years ago, where there's a culture like I think a lot of African cultures do that, where they're taking medication or doing whatever to bleach their skin because they want to be lighter, and the lighter the better, which is very unfortunate. But that's, I mean, I can't speak too much on it because I'm not in that culture and I don't know where that comes from in in their world. But I think it's just so much that people are faced with on a daily basis, and everything because of social media and all of that stuff. Everything is just shoved in your face and everything is so glamorized. And like I said, it takes the reverence of having an actual surgery or bleaching your skin or taking medications to alter who you are. It just takes the severity out of what it is that you're actually doing to yourself. People getting Fix-A-Flat injected into their butts. Like, what on earth makes you think that that's a good idea?
Right.
And that would ever work out in the long run? But it everything, we're in a microwave society, and not only did that translate from your pay, your job, your careers, and now it's also translating into our bodies, our health. Like, I don't care. I look good today. I don't care what's going to happen to me when I'm 50. If I even make it to 50, I'm living for today. Mm-hmm. So, again, I think this is a topic that could go on forever and ever.
It can.
But they're probably tired of listening to us rant. So, would you like to wrap it up?
Yes. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Safe Space Podcast. That, wasn't to like you in that way. It was just that I'm sure they are probably tired of listening to us rant. So, thank you all for listening to another episode of the Safe Space Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. See us back here each and every Monday. Bye.
And look up our Cash Apps because I'm taking donations for the Good Surgeon.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by James Photography, located in the DMV area, offering photography services for weddings, studio portraits, major parties, and events. Contact Marian on Instagram at mjamesphotography. That's M_James Photography for all of your photography needs.